Hi guys, this is Allison from AllyKatkreations. How are you? Please hit that like, share, and subscribe if you have not done so already. And if you get anything from my work, a connected dot, an epiphany, a new book to read, a new book to explore, the biggest mushroom cloud moment you can ever have, please consider supporting my work, and all the links will be at the description box below my video. Oh, guys. Okay. So, fun times. I get some weather app stuff, right? So I'm seeing that my area is going to get pummeled by a ton of rain and possibly tornadoes. And the last time that happened, I lost internet. I lost my electricity for over a day, 24 hours. And I had to run to Walmart, get a huge thing, pack it with ice, and then put all my food in there because it was really hot and sticky, so nothing was going to stay. It kind of sucked. And being that I just moved in, I was trying to get an invest. I was trying to see if I could swing a generator that runs off the natural gas. Okay, problem with that is it is exorbitantly expensive. It's like purchasing a car kind of expensive. So I bought the smaller next best thing is an actual generator. So today I had to make a deck. I had to put deck tiles down because I can't get it onto my deck. I'm too tiny to get this thing onto my deck because there's a few stairs. And then everything else around is grass. So there's nothing flat to put this thing on. So I bought deck tiles to flatten the ground to put it on. Then I put the oil in. It takes like W 10 or 30, what I don't know. And then I had to go get gasoline today. 5 gallons in those big jug thingies. It's great, right? But should Allison be lifting these things? And gasoline's a lot lighter than water, but still very heavy. I shouldn't be lifting this stuff. So, but I had to lift it. I don't have anybody helping me. So I get it home. I get it to my backyard. I lift it up to pour it into the generator. Oh, I messed my back up really, really bad. I twisted the wrong way. I don't know what I did. So this is why I'm kind of sitting back and relaxing kind of deal. Far, so you could see me. I was going to do your rancho, but that requires my body to turn, and it's a heavy buck. So I'm hoping by tomorrow, and if hell doesn't freeze over here, I'll get that done tomorrow. But tonight, what I can do, the Alien Gray Agenda, Mr. George Van Tassel's book, Into This World and Out Again. We've been going over a lot about the Bible and how George is saying, this is not working. George is saying in this Bible here that it's talking about aircraft. It's talking about flying saucers. See the back? The Zeta agenda. But the next couple, I think, I don't know if we're finishing this today. It's a short book. Like I said, I think it's really worth the read. Maybe. Possible. Possibly. Chapter 10. The Return. Quote, and when he had spoken these things while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. Acts 1:9. Quote, the earth people actually saw the man Jesus taken up on the transitor beam. This beam is used to nullify gravity. End quote. I don't know if my lights just flashed. If you saw that, please leave it in the comments. 9:40 Central Time. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into the heaven? This same Jesus, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. Acts 1:10-11. Most Christians who profess the Bible as their holy book do not understand what it says. I agree. They think because nothing has happened in their lifetime that these things are written for some other people in some distant future. This is not so. The man called Jesus is about to return. I don't believe in that. Why? Let's just put a pause here. Because you are a portion of the Yeshua, Christ consciousness. It's the Christ consciousness that's coming back. It's the ascension mechanics that is coming back. It is our activating of our DNA to get us to the Christic formation in our DNA to come and ascend. That's what's coming. That's the return. Yeshua is all within us. That's the problem when people are like, oh, that's a return. So if anybody follows JQ from We Not Me, there's a church in France that a Rothschild that looks just like Yeshua in the pictures, actually aka Julius Caesar, and he was supposed to walk out, and that's when the Obamacare guillotines were supposed to be used. If you don't believe me, go look that shit up. It's there. During that fire that they torched Notre Dame church in France, you could see a Templar, a person dressed up as a Templar running in that church, in the rafters. There is videos of this. It's not to say to somebody that believes in the Bible that he ain't returning. It's not, the physical aspect of Yeshua is not returning. It's within us. It's the Christ within us. It's the DNA activation of the Christos, of the spark, of what Yeshua was always trying to point out in his teachings. That's what's returning. Because it was once here on earth, and then it went bye-bye. Bye. We're going to make you dumb again. And then we're all starting to get activated. We have our ascension symptoms. We are all figuring things out. We're all starting to light up like beacons of light. Some of us already held this light. You might not be able to physically see it, but we hold a tremendous light. And more people are activating their beacon and starting to become brighter and brighter. And that populace that they're hitting with their auric field is getting larger. That's a huge reason also why people are dispersing and moving around the country right now. And it's been going on for the last 2 years, I mean, the mass exodus out of the cities, I'm one of them. I'm a refugee from New York, but I knew that my mission there was done. I held the frequency for that Stargate, but my frequency was needed in a place that didn't have enough light, and not enough light workers are in the vicinity to hold that light. So here I am. Sorry, guys. Jesus. See, I say Jesus in vain, but I call him Yeshua. Just FYI. So just put that in mind. I don't want anybody like, the bitch is talking about my Jesus. No, because I respect the man. I respect the energy that is. My laundry is done. I don't know if you could, the microphone picked up on my little harmonious chime that is, it's done. Either way, everybody's entitled to their perception and their opinion about what's going to happen. It's up to you to decide what you want to believe in. But what I'm saying here, when it comes to this, there's an agenda at foot with this. And I don't think George Van Tassel is knowing of that back when that at that point in time where he wrote this, that he knew there was other things going on. Most people haven't experienced, they have no idea of the other things happening. They only get that experience and then they're just telling you what's going on. But clearly here, the Greys have an agenda. And it's, let's just say, from what I've gathered from other people channeling and from what other resources I get, Jesus' soul name is Sananda. Sananda is working with the Palladians on Ashtar command because Mary is metatronically coded, which is not a good thing. Everybody's like, oh, Metatron. Look, I'm just telling you what I know and what I gathered from all my research. Sananda has to get Mary back because that's his other half. I read it in the Truth About the Bible, the evolution in the Bible the other day about what real soulmates are. It's the other half of you. So you individuated, you come into form, and you either incarnate as man and you're supposed to find your woman, or you're in a woman and you're supposed to find the man. That's a part of you. It's your soul that's split off into another vehicle. And you're supposed to find that. That's why it's called soulmates. Yeshua, Mr. Sananda, his soulmate, Mary, got activated and everything started reversing in her activation. And in order for him to become complete and whole again, he needs to help her, get her, and twist back up that activation to get alignment back with him. So he's not stuck. There's a lot of physics and a lot of DNA stuff involved, but I completely believe in that. So if you hear people channeling about Ashtar Command and Sananda, that's a real thing. But that's an agenda from the Anunnaki. Again, Ashanadine. And again, do you believe it? Do you not? It's okay if you don't. But just be very wary about the things that you subscribe to and hold on to dear life without letting other perceptions in. Getting back to the book, Peter 3:3 says, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers walking after their own lusts. Can it be more evident to them that the time is near? Air Force intelligence has been scoffing to the public through the newspapers, making a flat denial that there are spacecraft in their atmosphere. This is an outright lie to the people by a branch of their government. They have the material proof that our ships are real. Sorry for the dramatics, but what just happened in government? We're repeating and going through shit twice. Oh, some three guys sat down and there's disclosure. Oh yeah, they down with there's aliens. Yeah, we have inorganics. We have organics. We have folks. We are reliving 1950s. We really are reliving this. We're reliving it because they've been lying. They've always been lying. Why are they lying to us? Oh, well, because there's way bigger surface level than what it is. Okay, so you have your everybody getting paid under the table. You got off planet, okay, and it doesn't matter if you see it the Noskafundin way or you see it out of space. Whatever your perceptions are, doesn't matter because they have their own battleships, they have their scout ships, they are out in wherever. They have their homes, they have their mansions, they have their little cubby spaces to hide in. They don't want you to know about that. They slave people off planet. And if you only knew about that, the Black Project, all these corporations. This is why I'm doing that other series with the AI and the quantum, talking about black holes and all that, because these are the same people doing all this stuff and already had all the space stuff. It's insane. And right there in the book, it's telling you they knew, they already know. All these Black projects, Project Serpo. Oh, we're going to take some of the humans and we're going to ship them off into the great alien land. We have EBE. I mean, I've read those books, the yellow book and the red book on this channel. And it's under the same guise as Alien Grey Agenda. I read those books. It tells you. It's all these projects. So we have a book telling you they know, which is sad, to be honest. First, Theologians tells us in chapter 5, verse 3, quote, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." While the diplomats talk peace and safety, the militarists of the world reveal their lust for power in a race for weapons and destruction. Ooh, don't we know that already? They are of the world, therefore speak they of the world, and the world heareth them. We are of God. He that knoweth God heareth us. He that is not of God heareth not us. Hereby know we the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. John 4, 5 through 6. Experts by the dozens, bearing the marks of the earthling authority, have had their say about our spacecraft. They give various opinions based on earthly science that our craft are hallucinations, inversions, jets, balloons. Remember those spy craft balloons? Oh, yeah, okay. Seagulls. or spots before the eyes. Little do they realize that only about 1% of the sightings are being reported to them. One top investigator of unidentified flying objects who discounted them while he was with the military forces is telling the opposite now. That sounds like the hearing we just heard in Congress. Because you'd be persecuted. You would be a bad person if you were to tell the actual truth of the things you saw. And again, I believe that maybe 50% of what people see is our craft, meaning that the government doesn't tell you we have our own fleet already. Solar Warden, Space Force. It's not just about the internet. It's space. Hello, the Artemis Accords. Hi, everybody has a space program. You know, most countries have it. So why are they hiding this shit from the American public? Because they don't want you to know where your tax dollars are really going. That's a sad fact. The Earth's people are riding on a spaceship 7,500 miles in diameter, and the Earth is a small globe compared to some of the larger planets. They're living in an endless universe, and some have lived on many other planets before they came to Earth. Truth. Starseeds, hi. Though I believe we are on a spaceship, but I don't believe we're in a globe. It's the firmament that makes the illusion like we're in a globe. Peter 3:17 says, "Ye therefore, beloved, seeing ye know these things before, beware lest ye also, being led away with the error of the wicked, fall from your own steadfastness." Jesus was seen after his resurrection by his disciples and others. Quote, "After that he was seen of above 500 brethren at once, of whom the greater part remain unto this present, but some are fallen asleep." 1 Corinthians 15-6. Earthlings are playing with the death force of atomic energy. More evidence that the return of Jesus is near is recorded in Peter 3:10, which says, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up." Could atomic explosives be more accurately described than the elements uranium, plutonium, hydrogen, and lithium, which melt with fervent heat? Again, now we're also in a multiverse, so a number of possibilities could have already happened to the plane of existence we live in. And some of those things could have changed. The possibilities, the endless amounts of things that could possibly happen has changed. They could do what they did to Mars. And that could happen here. But they're warring over this plane of existence. So the rest of the chapters are written by George, where the others were just transcribed by George from the alien perspective. Chapter 11, the separation. The field in the world The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. Matthew 13:28-39. It stands to reason that the space people are not going to reap the weeds, tares. Even humans gather the weeds only to burn them. You must understand that to the space people who colonize the earth, to begin with, the earth is a field where they planted a crop of people. That is absolutely true. But the good side was there was a game changer. And that was we incarnated into these vehicles to change the course of shit. They use the planets like humans use the land. Man plant various crops, but they segregated them. They do not plant wheat, oats, corn, barley, and rye in the same field. This would cross the crops and make harvesting each separate impossible. A racehorse owner does not breed his thoroughbred mare with a plow horse. An oak tree does not mate with an elm tree. And if you go back to Manly P. Hall and you go back to the Curtises, they talk about that. The space people originally planted 3 species of man on the earth. Now you're getting into a waspy. The Ham, black. Shem, white. The Japheth, yellow. And if you follow my waspy, Japheth is Asia. These people are all true seed as long as they are not mixed. Hi, I'm here to tell you, oops, that's a problem. They don't want you to mix because of the things that are inside some of these beings, Draco and Anunnaki, the DNA. But I'm here to tell you, go read Oceanity, because there's 5 races seated on Earth in the angelic human form. The Magi were them. And a lot of us are descendants of them. Now, it doesn't matter if you mix your DNA with Asian, or you're a mixed couple and you married outside of your color. We are human. We are one race. If you have the God spark inside of you, you are human. We're one race. Human. We have different cultures, different languages, different features and genetics. All been manipulated, by the way. But it's okay to mix. It's what's inside your God spark. It's what's inside your soul's DNA, because your soul has DNA. Your physical vehicle, by the way, is just a vehicle. This is just a vehicle your soul sits in. Try not to hurt my back. And it's very hard when I read these books. How low has humanity fallen when the highest court in this great country has legalized a violation of the universal law? Does this make it right? Can legislation change the immutable laws of God? All of the angels are not white. They are pure seed of their own color, however. See? I skipped a few verses here because it's making me angry. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out his kingdoms all things that offend, and them which do inequity. Matthew 13:41. The Son of Man are the people of the Adamic race of true seed. Some, not all. Humans are the crossbreed descendants of the Adamic race of man and the animal race of Eve. The Illuminati part, yeah. This original sin of the Adamic colony was the first landed on this field, the earth. It is further crossed by the intermating between the various races. And you see this in Owaspé. You see the Ihins and Ihumans are mating with the Drooks. Drax, come on, Draconians. The Curtises talk about this, but they coincide with Dolores Cannon and also Ashana Dean. Those who read the Keys of Enoch go into the Adam Cadman. That's the race of slaves the Anunnaki made. It's not us. It's not us. Our history has been 1984. It's been rewritten for us time and time and time again. We really don't know. We can only go by what other people are bringing to the table and when they're getting their information. I don't necessarily believe that their sin, it's the Babylonian moon god. You're not inherently born with sin because you are a part of God. You're a fractal of God and you're a fractal of Yeshua. It's the Christ consciousness. How are you born of sin? You can do morally wrong, and you are contracted to do that wrong for somebody to learn from. It might be ugly. Just things to take into consideration when we're reading these things. Nothing is absolute in this world. It's a matrix. Play the game. Level up. Get the fuck out. The space people are gathering out all these places, those who don't belong there in his kingdom. This is evidenced by these people who place Mammon above God, rushing to cities because they can make more money there. I'm in a movement that people are creating what is called a 5D economy. I'm not a proponent of money. I never liked it. I have to work with it because this is the reality that I live in. But there are a lot of people in movements who have a lot of word and sway who make a shit ton of money and they're not helping out the people that they need to. They hoard it. And I'm not one to judge anybody, and what they do with their money is their business. But this is a big problem when everybody's speaking about some Jubilee, the Shemitah, Nasara Jasara. well, let me have a little guesstimate at if that ever is going to happen. There's too many people manifesting the greedy aspect of it, and it was never meant to be that way. And it's not what you think it is. No one gets a free pass in this world, and money is the stem of all evil. It's the intention you put into what you're using it for that makes a big difference. Like I said in other videos, I had a medium channel my parents who basically was saying, well, you got to get a job. You got to do and get back and into stability. I have to have multiple ways of having income. So if that's the case, I never got told I was going to get a windfall of money and my life was going to change. It's like a lotto hit. You didn't get that. So just be wary about when you take your hard-earned money and you're giving it to somebody because they have a cause or they have a product. And listen, I know people that, are just surviving on these products that people pitch. And I have nothing wrong with that. They're doing them. That's great. But just recognize, what means are they making it for? Are they hoarding it for themselves, or are they doing good with it? The money mad people are being influenced mentally to follow their professed God, Mammon. On the other hand, many people are fed up with the money mad crowd and are being influenced to go back to God's countries. This migration is a separation of the wheat from the tares. Those who do inequity by seeking more and more money have separated themselves from the people who are seeking more and more kingdom of God. So shall it be at the end of the world, the angels shall come forth. Serve the wicked from among the just, and shall cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of the teeth. Matthew 13:49-50. What is the furnace of fire? Can it be atomized cities? What was the agenda 2030 about? What did they try to do in the cities? These are very damning things to think about. And except those days shall be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. This paragraph explains why the spacecraft are being seen by millions of people in such great numbers. The space people would have normally made their appearance in the future. Here we are. At the time the Earth changes on its poles, that's an alien gray agenda. They had made their appearance sooner or shortened the days, which is true. They're fucking with time, literally using space time crystals. They're freaking with the scalar wave, back and forth functioning math in this matrix to shorten the time and make appearances as if it's speeding up. Because where did your day go? Where are your days going? Even if you feel like it's going slow, it really isn't going slow. It is sped up exponentially. Can imagine why. In order to see to it that all flesh is not destroyed by the radiations of atomic experiments or atomic hydrogen bomb warfare. And I'm going to put a caveat to this. It's not just about atomic weapons. Now the aliens have been shutting down the atomic weaponry. But are they smart enough to shut down these laboratories playing with dark matter? Hello. And people creating black holes. That's more of a threat to us right now than atomic weapons. Because these little guys shut that stuff down. I don't care if it's good, the bad, the ugly, the polarized beings are literally shutting the atomic sites down. So please explain to me what threat, maybe back in in George's time, yes. In our parents' time, yes. In our time, it's black holes, it's dark matter, it's antimatter. It's playing with things that people just don't have much awareness about. The elect are those who elect themselves by choosing his kingdom instead of Mammon's satanic rust. The efforts of the forces of darkness through the actions of humans are apparent on every side. Everything is valued in monetary terms, truth, not for the service it performs. Laws are legislated by ignorant people who only see a monetary or control gain by their enactment. The Biden administration, no consideration is taken by the legislatures as to whether the legislated laws conflict with the laws of nature or God. Be grateful that the days have been shortened by the angels in the spacecraft. Their appearance in the sky has verified the Bible as no other thing could do. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Matthew 24:33. Chapter 12. Modern Satan. This should be quite interesting. And the Lord said unto Moses, how long will these people provoke me? And how long will it be ere they believe me for all the signs which I have shewed among them? End quote. Numbers 14:11. With the functioning of the propaganda machines of today, the people are purposely led into confusion. Said that during COVID. Official statements tell of the large areas affected by radioactive fallout on one day. Then denials are made that the fallout is harmful by the same officials a week later. It is said a responsible source reported, or a friend in another department of government stated. These are all methods of propaganda to make people think that what the article implies or states is official. The experts, all the experts said, all the experts, the scientists, the doctors, the experts, what the fuck are their names? Oh, because they don't want you to think for yourself. Again, written in 1953. And if I mean, again, like, there's an agenda afoot with the alien grays, but there's a lot of truth to this. There's a shit ton of truth to this. So don't take what I say as like, oh, well, oh. Yeah, there's an agenda, but they have to tell you the truth. They're going to tell you some truths, and that's one of them. And that is so true. That statement there alone is so absolute. You can't argue that. We just went through it again. Different, but we went through it again. Does the clergy of any of the churches explain why the Bible refers to God, Lord, etc.? Ask your local preacher or priest what the difference is between these three names. Churchianity says that man, Jesus, was the Lord, yet the Lord is spoken of long before his time in other parts of the Bible. The space people use the names God, and Lord as identities of positions among them, the same as we use president, vice president, secretary of state, etc. Moses did speak to a man in a spacecraft with our atmosphere condensed around it by its force field. His title was Lord, like Ashtar. The space people do not assume by these titles that they are better than anyone else, like Earthlings do. They refer to the Creator as the creative spirit or the single one. Christianity, as taught by the church, is not Constantinism. I want to say it's Constantine, because that was Jesus's mother's last name. Christ did not say, I come not upon earth to bring peace, but the sword. Does that sound like a Christ? He said, I come not upon the earth to bring peace, but the word, the S, was added by the agents of Satan in the flesh to mislead people purposely and to imply that Christ sanctified war. Christ said, turn the other cheek, did not fight back. Non-resistance was his profession. Why all of this confusion in a book that is considered holy? Why all of the conflicting statements by authorities and departments of government? How long will these people provoke me? Asked one of the lords. This confusion is not accidental. It is propaganda to keep ignorant authorities from exposing their ignorance. By keeping the people in confusion, they don't want the people to find out why we are here, how we got here, what we are here for, or what happens to us when we leave this life. You are the manifested keepers of this planet, truth. The insidious influences of the opposition to creative things are trying to keep you confused. The same flaming chariots, pillars of cloud by day and the fire by night, are in our skies today. These wheels within wheels and other spacecraft mentioned in the Bible are here to support the keepers of this planet. Not all of them. The reason authorities hide the fact that they are here is because the modern influence of destruction wants to keep draining your pocketbook. Money is the god of the devil's agents. The fact that 80% of your taxes is spent for weapons of destruction, sorry guys, or means to deliver them should be evidence enough that the beast is in control. Modern Satan is in control of the world though, and through his agents in the flesh. Wherever the bulk of your tax money goes, that agency is running things on this planet. The military is running the world today, whether they are in uniform or out of it. The secrecy with which research is being conducted is trying to copy the spaceships that the Air Force turned over to private firms. Ooh, military-industrial complex is one example. They hope to use craft copied from those forced down on this planet to add more speed to the delivery of their destructive bombs. The secrecy is research into these craft is funny. Secrecy does not exist among friends in spite of security. Secrecy only exists between enemies. The irony of it is that Satan's agents have to hire people with creative principles in order to make these new things, because they cannot create or manifest creative things. People with creative principles do not recognize secrecy or security. The agents of modern Satan rule by division, by keeping the people divided. Two-party governments, two labor organizations, several denominational factions in churches, two ideals depending upon the prophet at the time. Nazi or anti-Nazi, communist or anti-communist, anything to keep the people divided. Oh, yes. The agents of Satan tell you they believe in God, but what God? How many times do I say that? All the time. What God? You talk about God, which one? Many gods. Not the creative spirit, that's for sure. Their God is destructive, dividing, and bringing people hell on earth. Agents of Satan in this great country are hiding the fact that the agents of the Creator are here in spaceships. Watch out for modern Satan working through his agents in the flesh. They are the ones that tell you lies about others, so you won't believe future events that are in the making by agents of creative spirit. I'm going to leave that here because we got some chapters left and I want to save this book. That last part, all of it resonate 100% with. My back is killing me. I'm trying. It's really important to understand you don't know what God people are believing in. I call God creator, source. Once in a while, creative spirit comes out of me, but creative spirit is like what I consider all of us who have the God spark. The all, the infinite intelligence, the infinite consciousness, stuff of that nature. The agents of Satan are the negative polarized aliens trying to take and dominate over our planet. And they come in the form of human. You see some humans shape-shifting on television, or you see digitized things of people that you're like, I've seen demons, I've seen aliens go through people. I have pictures. I will not embarrass other people. And it's not embarrassing. The photos have black eyes of really good people, claws, scales, eye slits, and the aura around them is not good. These are things working through them. I I know a lot more spiritual people watch me than people that aren't really spiritual, more on the religious side. But if you wake up every day and envision yourself in a mirror, reflecting everything out so nothing can get into you, doing simple visualizations, if you're not the one to meditate and to get your Merkaba going, and Ashiana Dean does the Maharic Seal. People do 12D shielding techniques. There's so many techniques. Find one that works for you and do it every day. And it doesn't take no more than a minute or two to visualize these things and put the intention into the universe that you want protection. You don't know what is around you. Unfortunately, I know what's around me. Some people could see them behind me, but they don't bother me because they're just lost. And when I get a chance, I always try to send them up. Some of them don't want to go, but they don't bother me, and I respect that. So I respect their space. This part of the book amplifies me because we're again doing things twice. We have to learn from the mistakes of the past, and we're not doing a great job as a humanity. We are doing a lot better because more people, thanks to Tom McDonald, Jim Brewer, and more people in the niche sections like Carrie Cassidy, James Rink. You got people that are whistleblowers and people who have had the experiences in these Black projects. Super Soldier Talk is James Rink's channel. I highly suggest going over there and do SSP 101 video. It is fantastic. It's a great overview of everything. And a lot of his interviewees are absolutely, in my opinion, legit. Carrie Cassidy has the same amount of people, different, but their whistleblowers are people that have tried to out the wrongs of the government. And it's not just the US government, it's whole governments. If you really think that they're not all in cahoots with each other, they are. Who are you fooling? No one. Please. They're all in cahoots with each other. We need to start realizing and spreading more of this knowledge out to people reading these books. It is important, even if you don't resonate. Like, again, I see the alien agenda happening within this book, but at the same time, the truth is really coming out and the agendas are still here. They didn't leave. Propaganda is number one of people that fall into it, are a lot of people that still watch television. And yes, television is now turning to the side of good. We got better stories, fiction being written that is portraying the things that people need to learn from. Child trafficking is one of them. But what they don't tell you is what was on the South Park Q episode. It's more like the truth. But there's more to that too, because they go off planet. We have active stargates. It's a stellar activation right now. Why do you think we're getting ascension symptoms? Why do you think I had to close a stargate? And why do I have a picture of a royal white Draco? It's because it's an activation period. It's the graduation period. We're all being harvested. We're all moving up. It's going to take a very long time. This is not happening overnight. Not happening overnight. If you listen to Dolores Cannon, it's in your own time. And there's no wrong way or right way to do it. It's on you. You already wrote it in your DNA. You have a script. You are playing a role for Source God, the creative spirit. You wrote a role for yourself. You wrote down what race you were going to be. You wrote down what parents you're going to have, and you wrote down everything that's going to happen to you. It's not necessarily predestined because each timeline you shift up and higher, different elements of things come in for you to learn from. And yes, you wrote most of that too. Your free will choice is to choose whether you're going to react well to it or not, whether you're going to ignore the signs or not. It's your free will. We all wrote this in for ourselves, and we also wrote in how we were going to ascend. Each of us are going to ascend differently. Each of us are going to ascend on our own time frames. So the big mega flash is going to happen, and everybody's just consciously, probably, but physically, we do have to go somewhere else. It's just a matter of who's right about where we're going and how we're going to get there. And again, I don't think that's happening for a long span of time. So guys, just live your freaking lives. Go out and live your life. Seed people. Try to wake people up with being respectful to the fact that some people aren't waking up right now. Some people are not meant to wake up. They're not ready yet. They're not ready to ascend yet. It's not your place to judge, sadly, and we need to understand that. And the people that are just waking up now, we got to give them some grace, and we have to be patient with them. You don't want to overload them right away because it's going to freak them out, and you don't want that. You want somebody to gradually start getting curious. They're going to come to you, and you're going to be the one that divulge some information and let them find it out for themselves. Send them to people's videos. There's millions of videos by now of people talking all about how we were wrong since day one. And we don't even know when day one actually ever started on this planet. Let's face that. Is day one when we were all in first density, individualized as a solid? Or is it when we became consciously aware in third density? People can argue that point all day long. We really don't know what date it is or what year it is. And to be honest, time, space is just a 3D construct. Time is measured in other ways on the higher densities. You don't have to take that word, my word for it. Just do some simple looking around. I hope you enjoyed this. This book is crazy and I love it. And that's why I wanted to do, even though I know the agenda, I still wanted to present it to everybody because there is a lot of truth in this book and a lot of good perceptions. And regardless, I'm hoping there are gray races out there that haven't been infected with things that are here to help us. I really hope so. I just don't want to see the poles flip right now. It's not time yet. Stop forcing something. Stop forcing that agenda. If it's going to happen, it'll naturally happen on its own accord, not because you made it happen. Because, I mean, if we look at the different matrix systems, if we're looking at people's experiments with black holes, there's a lot of scary stuff. And again, like he was saying in that book, we don't know about these experiments until after the fact. Why don't we know about them before they happen? People are theorizing and theorists and all this crap. Great. I'm happy for you. But here's the problem. You make your shit manifest in creative world using really innocent people, and you know that you could possibly open something that you can't undo. And that happens a lot more often in the spiritual community than anything else before. When people play with Ouija boards that don't know how that functions and open and closing spaces, there are portals. The end result is something that is going to attach to you and make your life a living hell. And 98% of the time, people can't get rid of it. So again, don't play with those things unless you know every law and every facet of getting rid of something if something does jump through. Please be safe, be seen, shield yourselves. There's plenty of different types of meditations. You can just visualize yourself in a knight's armor. Make sure that every day that you're going out and you're going amongst people, you don't know what they have. You don't know what energy or attachment they have. Please make sure that you make this an everyday occurrence. I do both when I wake up and when I go to sleep. I'm always visualizing some kind of something around me to make sure that I'm safe and that nothing can jump in and out of me. It's really important because this is how this is how Satan and his army is working. So whether you want to believe in that or not, that's okay. You don't have to. But negative thought forms are real and they do affect people on the astral plane. Might not be in this body, but it could be in your other bodies. Sending each and every one of you love, light, protection, and shielding. Please have a wonderful weekend. I'm hoping that I have power tomorrow and my back is a little better. I'm going to sleep on the heat pad tonight to do the Awaspe book tomorrow. Unfortunately, my back's killing me. So I'll figure it out. But I wanted to get this out because it's a little easier for me to relax and not get frustrated and do something I really enjoy. So guys, please don't forget to hit that like button. And I know somebody like wrote me on BitChute, like it's towards YouTube more and Rumble. I have my stuff linked to Rumble. So, but YouTube is like the spot that I post. This is the first place I post. I have those backup channels. I have those backup platforms just in case I was ever removed, so I don't lose the body of work. And even though I do save them, it's just a pain in the ass to have to upload 600 and something videos already. So I just wanted to have some backup. So thank you though for those of you on BitChute who are supporting my work. Thank you. I really appreciate all of you for supporting my work. And I think it's about time that I'm just presenting these things. I want you to get these books. I want you to read them if you can, or at least take what resonates with you and start seeding people. We need more people awake and we need more people aware that there's multiple agendas. It's not just this one thing happening. It's multiple layers of things that are happening in succession to each other. And each person's really at the nitty gritty gripping at different strings, trying to unravel it all. And if we do this as a group, and instead of, we'll be spreading the word a lot faster and getting more people aware. It's not that they need to believe it. It's just becoming more aware that there is aliens. All right, guys. I'll have to see how long the summary is to the truth about evolution in the Bible, because that's just a summary, and I might do that also tomorrow, depending how I am feeling. Because that it's short and it's I want to start another book, and I can't do that until I finish that one. So until next time, guys, thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. I'm here trying to help you guys help more people. Please be safe, be seen, and until the next one, guys.